Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a recap of What Comes After Love episode 3. So let's get right into it. You can also see the other recaps in the What Comes After Love episode by episode recap playlist on my channel. So let's get right into it. So in What Comes After Love episode 3, we end the last episode with Troy leaving the meeting with Aoki in her car. And then in this episode, she's speaking to her best friend, her future fiance, over the phone, while Aoki jumps in front of her car. She ends the call with him, and Aoki gets into the car with her, and they're driving, and he's telling her how much he regrets stuff, and she tells him that she's getting married soon to kind of shut him up. And even though she's still in love with him, she doesn't want to address anything that's happened. And then we get a flashback of when Troy left and a voiceover about why he didn't beg her to stay back then, but then he's coming in her car and talking about how he still wants her. And then we get another flashback with her dad in the hospital after he collapsed. And this is after she returns to Korea from Japan. And her male bestie, we find out in this episode that he's actually a doctor. He's sitting next to her in the hospital in his hospital uniform. And he's asking her what happened in Japan and why she's so upset, but she doesn't tell him anything. And then in the present, Aoki has a new interpreter. She's already come through. Troy's not there anymore, and he's zoning out during his meeting about his book. And then he asks a new interpreter for Troy's number, and she doesn't give it to him, but instead gives him a brief description of Troy's home address, which is crazy, to be honest, but okay. Moving on. We then get a flashback of Aoki heartbroken after Troy leaves, and his ex-girlfriend coming back into his life as well. Troy is zoning out as well, while suit shopping in the present with her fiance. So he's trying to pick out a suit and she's completely zoning out. Like, she doesn't want to get married to him, and she's kind of getting flashbacks of when she was with Aoki and when they walked past a wedding dress store and her looking at the dress and thinking, oh my lord, that dress is so beautiful. I want that for myself. So her bestie, in the present, I think in the show, he's very aware that she's not in love with him, but he's hoping that she will give him a chance. Then, in the present, Aoki's ex has come to Korea to meet him and asked him if they can get married. So we don't really know what's happened in the last 5 years with Aoki and his ex, ex before Troy, I mean. We don't know what's really happened between them, but they've had some sort of rekindling. But you can tell Aoki doesn't really care for her, but she's still somehow kind of hung up on Aoki, even though she was the one that broke up with him. And then obviously Troy is really hung up on Aoki too. So it's so tangled and it's such a mess. And we also learned that the reason why Troy left him in Japan is because he was working a lot, to pay for school and stuff like that, and he would basically prioritize work and hanging out with his friends over her. And he was young and he was a bit foolish. I do think that I understand him working and not having time for her, but she felt like she was second in his life. And what happened was she was running one night in the flashback, and some guys kind of accost her in a way, and she runs off and ends up falling and breaking her ankle. And then she's calling him to help pick her up and stuff like that, and he's just never available because he's busy. And she just feels like she's second in his life. I can understand where she's coming from, and then I can also understand where he was coming from when he was like, I'm working, there's stuff to do, I love you, you are important, we sleep together, we come home together, I see you all the time, you're not second to me, it's just that work is important and I need to pay for school, and I also need to pay for the apartment that we live in, because she's moved in with Troy at this point. But that's why she left Japan. She was feeling really alone and she might have made a mistake. And she talks about the fact that she really wanted to live in his skin, and how him not picking up her phone and not like being there for her when she was having a really, really tough time just made her feel like she had made the wrong choice in falling in love with him, which is why she ran away. She also talks about, like, in the voiceover, she's also talking about how she doesn't understand why when she was crying he didn't comfort her, why when she was leaving he didn't chase after her, why he didn't like do more. And I think she's aware now that she was young and maybe doing a little bit too much, and that he was also young and a little bit foolish. And I think the 5 years that they've been away from each other has allowed them to kind of reflect on the fact that yes, they were very much in love, but like youth and young love and being the first person that you've fallen in love with kind of like affected things. So that's the state of events pretty much. And they only gave us one episode this week, so we have to wait another week for episode 4. And mind you, this drama only has 6 episodes in it. I still don't really, halfway through, I still don't really know if this is going to have a happy ending or not. People who have read the novel said that it was pretty bittersweet, like, or kind of open-ended, so we'll wait and see. But I am enjoying this drama right now. I think it's really realistic, and you can definitely see both sides of the relationship as well. And I'm also having like a bit of second male lead syndrome, because her best friend, who she's supposed to marry, is actually really sweet, and I feel bad for him, because I'm like, if she liked you, like, this would be a really cute, sweet kind of rom-com, but she doesn't, so that's unfortunate. Let me know what you thought about episode 3 in the comments below. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. If you want to see my other recaps, you can go to my What Comes After Love playlist recap on my channel and watch episode 1 and 2 recap as well. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a lovely day or lovely evening, depending on where you are. Bye.